Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So at this point I have owned my Lexus LX600 F Sport for 2 months, and if you know me, that is a world record. Okay, so not a long time, but at this point I've gotten a really good idea of what this vehicle is all about. And in this video I'm just going to kind of give you my no kidding initial impressions of ownership of this beautiful 2023 Lexus LX600. For those of you who don't know, I'm a bit of a Toyota nut in general. I mean, I typically own, 4Runners or Tundras or Sequoias, and I tend to lean toward the TRD Pro models. But for the last couple of years, Land Cruisers have really won my heart. I mean, I absolutely love the Toyota Land Cruiser for so many reasons, right? There's so much heritage to it. They have quite the legacy, the longest standing nameplate in the US until they got rid of it at the end of 2021. So they got rid of the 200 series with the Heritage Edition being the send-off version, and I had a few different Heritage Editions over the last couple of years, and I love them. Absolutely love them. I love the heft of the vehicle. I love the confidence that it inspires while you drive them. The commanding view of the road of that fishbowl view with an amazing, windows all throughout. It does totally inspire amazing confidence no matter the weather conditions that you're in. It just hugs the road. It could be snowing completely out, pouring rain, and you could be cruising down the freeway without a worry in the world. So I love the peace of mind that Land Cruisers really offer in general, and I love the reliability aspect of Toyota in general, right? And that's why I am definitely a Toyota fanboy at heart. So this Lexus here was my first ever Lexus that I've ever purchased. And I did that because I bought this because I love Land Cruisers, and this is essentially that. This is the 300 series Land Cruiser that we can actually get in the United States. There is 300 series Land Cruisers available all around the world, but not an option here, unfortunately. So same exact underpinnings as the 300, but it is dolled up more. You got the Lexus badge all throughout it. You got the giant Lexus spindle grille out front. A lot more tech on the inside as well. It's just more bells and whistles and frills. Normally speaking, I do prefer the simplistic look and feel of a Toyota, and I do, and I continue to prefer that, but I do have a great sense of pride driving this vehicle, knowing that the Japanese put so much quality and quality control and effort and pride into building it, and you can totally tell when you're behind the wheel. So just kind of a reminder, I'll do a walk around, kind of blab about it, give you my thoughts, my minor gripes that I have about it, and we'll hop in and kind of remind you of what it feels like to be in the LX600 here. So I do love the fact that it does share the same exact side profile as you find in the 300 series Land Cruiser. This is identical. Maybe a little bit more pointy up front given the fact that we had that spindle grille and the Lexus headlights, but otherwise that profile screams Land Cruiser, and I love that, the side profile here. The 200 series that I've had before, they kind of had more of a bubbly, rounded off fenders, whereas we actually get kind of a hard line on the fenders now, to include some actual mini fender flares surrounding the wheel wells, which we did not get in the past. Nice little F Sport badge. And again, those same fender lines out back. Even for, the side mirror here, you can tell there's just a conscious effort to keep the visibility premium within it, right? So to not block any of the visibility by putting the, the side mirror right here. They put it down on the door, protruding upward, so not actually blocking and giving you a blind spot right there. So I like that a lot. But really, the thing I love most about them is how planted they are and how sturdy they feel. And I know I kind of beat this to death all the time, but just even when you open up the door, how heavy that door is. That was really the first thing I noticed when I purchased my first 200 series Land Cruiser. I bought my 2020 Heritage Edition back in 2020, and when I opened that door for the first time, I was like, holy cow, this really is, it really is like you're driving a bank vault, and it just feels so well put together. There's no creaks, nothing making weird sounds as you drive the vehicle. Things aren't falling apart within it like we find in our Escalade, unfortunately. Everything is just so well put together. All the panel gaps are exactly the same throughout it. I have another video where I actually show you, no kidding, that all the panel gaps are identical. But tell you what, You just don't see that level of pride and craftsmanship and build quality out of domestic vehicles. And I hate saying that because I am a proud American. I promise you guys, I'm a proud American, but I just don't find that same level of pride in manufacturing vehicles here in the US, unfortunately. And let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you have a domestic vehicle and you find it to be exceptionally well put together. You tell me. But I haven't found it, but I have always found it with my Japanese built vehicles. And the Land Cruiser is their flagship SUV, and it is the vehicle that they go into building to last. No kidding, 20 plus years with minimal maintenance. They say that. The Toyota Land Cruiser technicians out there, they say they build this to last 20 plus years with minimal maintenance. Can you imagine that even being a topic of discussion for a domestic manufacturer? Can you even imagine that? Can you imagine Ford or Chevy saying, hey, we're going to build this SUV, we're going to build this Equinox, the Chevy, I can't even say it out loud without laughing. We're going to build this Chevy Equinox to last 20 years without any issue, minimal maintenance, and it's going to be a perfect vehicle for Americans to buy and drive. Can you even imagine that? So that is not the case whatsoever, because, I mean, if things fall apart and break on a vehicle, what does that do? What does that force you to do? It forces you to either A, repair it, go in there, spend money with that manufacturer, get the parts, pay the labor cost to get it fixed at the dealership, or B, trade it in for the next model, right? Keep swapping them out, and that keeps money coming into the dealerships, coming into the manufacturer. So I'll get off that rant, but I love that they have so much pride in this and they build it to last. And it will. This is the vehicle to drive until the wheels fall off. I hate that statement. So many people say it all the time. Oh, I buy my vehicles and I drive them till the wheels fall off. No, you don't. 9 out of 10 people or more, I would say, do not do that. And I think we love saying that, and I think we often say it to kind of justify our purchase. I think it's a very common thing to say for that reason, but you know, in 5 to 10 years, you're gonna get maybe up to 150,000 miles. You'll probably start shopping around and swap it out like most people. So, but if you happen to be that 1 out of 10 people who do buy a vehicle to drive it till the wheels fall off, this is it. This is the one you want. Somebody did the math. So I spent, after taxes and after fees and everything, I spent $115,000 for this. If I drove it for 20 years, you know, I would have 20 years of great peace of mind. So if I spent that $115,000, another way to look at it is I spent, you know, $5,750 a year is what it equated to be. $5,000, just under $6,000 to drive this for 20 years with great peace of mind, unmatched peace of mind. So I guess that is kind of a nice way to look at it. Not to mention, probably in 20 years, it'll still have excellent resale value. It'll still probably sell for, you know, $20,000 to $40,000. And I guess if inflation continues, it'll probably sell for $300,000 at that time. So anyways, I digress on that. But I love the fact that it is so well put together, in and out. I love that they do typically have great resale as well. I mean, I kind of add on to that point there. You know, that is something nice to know. You can drive it for years and not totally lose your butt on it when you actually come time to sell it or trade it in. Love this spindle front grille. I know this is a controversial piece. You tell me what your thoughts are. Do you like this look? Tell me the truth and you won't hurt my feelings, I promise, because I understand it is either a love-hate. You love it or you hate it for sure. But I think that looks incredible. And that's why, I mean, I love the F Sport in particular. The F Sport this is a unique grille to the F Sport with the gloss black finishes. This is unique to the F Sport and I love it. You know, the luxury, the ultra luxury, they're nice. You know, they're pretty dang near similar, but I think this really does set it apart. So similar to the 200 series, it does kind of have a little bow down in the middle. This is a wider one. On the 200, it was a little bit more narrow. Maybe a little deeper on the 200. But you got a wide bow out on the hood. And one thing you notice too, you know, I'll take it through a touchless car wash, and of course it blow dries it at the end. You know, on my Tacomas that I've had, the Tundra, Sequoia, the 4Runner, every time I go through the blower portion, the hood will just, it'll just kind of, you know, wave a little bit. And that is, and here on this, it doesn't at all. There's no waving or bowing to this hood whatsoever when you go through it. So I think that's just a small little example of the build quality between the two of them, right? This really is the flagship SUV that they build, and they make this top notch in every way. A small example there. Standard sunroof. Show you out back, remind you what that looks like. You do have the gas cap on the driver's side, just like the 4Runner, the Tundra, Sequoia. The 200 series though did have it on the passenger side. Kind of a small difference there. Love how premium this interior is. Just so soft to the touch and super, just super comfortable. Absolutely love it. The kids love this. They think it's a magic trick. Voila. Yeah, well, 7-year-olds and 4-year-olds aren't that difficult to impress. You got a little sunshade here, blah, 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 blah. So small little creature comforts. And this right here, by the way, kind of a squirrel moment here, but the Mark & Levinson sound system in this is absolutely incredible. And I'm not an audiophile by any means or audio connoisseur. It really is easily the best, noticeably the best audio system that I've ever experienced. And again, I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to that, but it really just surrounds, it's just incredible. So recommend that as an option if you see it. Definitely recommend that. Just soft touch materials all throughout it. This is, the difference between the 200 series, right? Obviously, we had the twin turbo V6 here and the 10-speed automatic transmission. The 200 series had an 8-speed, buttery smooth. They're both equally smooth transmission and a 5.7 liter V8. So that's probably the most notable difference between the two of them, of course. But right when you sit in here, although it feels equally plush, the seats and feeling, everything feels equally sturdy between this and the 200 series. We have a lot more tech, a lot more creature comforts, a lot more bells and whistles, dual screens here, metal finishes, metal bezels all throughout. A cool box. You actually get a little, let me show you, a little cool box there. Pop that on. That's cool. So you got that. It's just, you do feel the price hike, right? I mean, the MSRP on my Land Cruiser Heritage Edition was $89,000 some change. Back in 2020, MSRP on this is $111,000 some change. It's quite the hike, but this is kind of where it's come from. You get the additional bells and whistles all throughout here. I'll hop in for fun. This is where it's all at. This is, everything just feels exceptional in here. Everything, the sound deadening in the doors is incredible, as you'd expect. You can kind of see there, maybe you can see, we got the head-up display, another little creature comfort that you get in the Lexus compared to what you would find in the Land Cruiser. You did not get that. So I made this video plenty long. Really just want to geek out with you for a minute, give you my my 2-month ownership update. I am loving it. It is a great vehicle. It is admittedly too nice for me. I am used to simplistic vehicles, and this is extra premium, extra plush. I'm not complaining by any means, but it is. I do feel like it's too nice. My kids, if you have kids and you buy this vehicle, get ready to have your OCD tested for sure. So I will wrap up the video there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you think I should have considered a different vehicle. And really, what's your favorite part of the LX? I'd be curious. I know there's not a huge following of the LX600. I understand that. But what is your appeal to it? What is it that you like most? And what is it that you don't like? Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.